Dude, it's running. Oh my gosh. Oh! Wow! Yeah! Update. Oh, engine's in. I'm trying to get the harness figured out, how that routes. A lot of stuff still hanging in there. AC, power steering, never took that stuff off. Condensers hanging out to the side here. I'm trying to get the balancer on right now. I've got everything underneath, and the transmission's bolted up, cross member's bolted on. I guess it's bright out, I could show you that. I've been coming home at night after work. Oh man. Oh, tracking. I never swept this up and it rained. Oh, what a mess. So under here you can see I got the cross member bolted up. You can't see that real well because it's bright over there, but that was tough. Bolt was broke off in there. Had to get a 21 millimeter, go through this hole right here. Oh, and that was not easy, but that's bolted up. Transmission's all bolted up, cross member, everything's back on, except for the exhaust down underneath. So I've got the crank pulley I'm trying to install through here. I've taken the whole front end off, so it's nice and open. So I have plenty of room to work. Now, this is crazy. I got this is a long pulley installation kit from AutoZone that I just bought today. And if you take this thrust bearing right here, and it's attached to this, so you can't like pull them apart. But if you install it all the way on there, it's all the way deep down in there, and you can't get a wrench on it to then turn it. So I got this, which is the 24 millimeter socket for the crank bolt, and I put that in there as kind of like a spacer. Bruh. That socket is the perfect size to fit in there if I line it up with the pulley itself. So I'll be able to use that to smash it on. And I just did the wheel bearings of my daughter's car, and that required a 32 millimeter pulley, and this just happens to be a 32 millimeter socket. So that's pretty sick. So I'm gonna get my 3/4 inch, put it on there with an adapter, and I'm gonna get that thing at least pressed on there. The 1/2 inch wrench with the adapter and the socket and everything, and this is going on way easier than I thought it would. From what I can tell up here, that front seal looks like it's lined up pretty well. So once I get this thing seated, then I gotta figure out some way to hold the flywheel though, because I don't know how I'm gonna hold the flywheel while I torque this thing to, I think it's what, 250 foot-pounds, or it's actually 36, 38 foot-pounds with an extra 140 degrees. So we're gonna give it a shot and see what we can do, but I'm a little concerned about being able to do that. All right, I think in there, I think that's supposed to be flush, because it looks like it's got this red stuff, which is from the inside of the bolt. Use the old bolt to torque it on, and then we'll get it final torqued in a minute. Okay, maybe that is all the way on, because I didn't see it move a whole lot. Huh, you can't see it down there. I've got a pry bar stuck in the flywheel over there, and this is torqued to 37 foot-pounds. Now, each one of these is 60 degrees from here to here. It's got to go another 140 degrees. So, if 60 degrees is right here, then 90 degrees would be right here. This would be 60 and 60, which is 120. So this is 90, 100, 110, 120. So then it'd be like 130, 140. 140 should be right about here. So I'm gonna try and mark it right there. I'm sure I'm not making like, I'm not making crazy power. It's only another 50 horsepower from stock. I don't even think I'm gonna be able to turn it that far. But we're gonna try and mark the thing up and see if we can't get it to go to near 140. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it that far. If I can't get it that far with conventional means, Then we're gonna go ahead and take the Thunder Gun and just give it hell. I honestly don't think I'm gonna be able to make it all the way to 140 degrees, but I'm gonna try. All right, first crack at it. Stand up on this thing. No cheater bar. We're just gonna try and go for like initial 90 degrees or something like that. Okay, where we are. I'll get that later. All right, this is a really good angle. I can get some serious pull from this, maybe 50 pounds. I don't know if you can see that mark there, where it's supposed to be, but I've got maybe 45 degrees to go. If that, this is gonna be close to 250 foot-pounds, and I'm 2 feet off right now, so I'd have to pull about 500 pounds. No, I'd have to pull about 250, I'd have to be able to lift about 125 pounds with my arm to get it there. Where am I at? Whoo! Oh, it's nice to go a little bit farther. I'll put a cheater on it. Alright, this jack handle's giving me about an extra foot. And I only need a couple more degrees to get it there. Alright, so. Oh man. Dang. Almost so close. Just give it one more real good pull. You know what? I'm gonna call that good. I'm gonna call that good enough for me. Surface on this manifold's pretty rusted, so I'm just gonna knock some of that off. Okay, a lot of this stuff I'm not filming because it's boring stuff. But I am working. Just got the exhaust manifold down in there. You can imagine how fun that was. On the other side, the exhaust that goes down there, after this manifold, I should have put it up into place before I put the engine and transmission in, because I took it out of there after I took the engine and transmission out. And I thought to myself, you know what, before I mount the engine and transmission, I should probably put that exhaust piece back in there just in case it's hard to get in. And boy was I right. I went to try and go put it in, there was no getting it in. So I had to take off both oxygen sensors outside the truck, and then I had to feed it up in, back, and then back up like that, and then put both oxygen sensors back in. And it would have been 100 times easier if I'd have just put it in there before I dropped the motor and transmission in. So that's something I'm a little bit concerned about with the rest of this, is I did it all in a certain order, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to remember the order I put everything back together. So I'm hoping there's not a whole lot I have to take apart and then put back together. But we'll see. I think next time I do something like this, I'll probably, as I'm going through, I will make a list of what I'm taking off, like in order, so that when I go to put it back together, I just have to follow the list and put it all back together. But you know, lesson learned. Next time. Going sick on this bad boy today. Running out of light, so we're gonna show you guys some progress. Engine's in. Of course, I've got both exhaust manifolds on, this side and that side. I had a little bit of trouble getting the converters in there, but I've got the harmonic balancer on. The starter is on down there. Got a couple things clipped into that. That's all wired up. The harness, I'm starting to try and figure out how that's going to go together. And I really just need, got the dipstick tube in for the transmission, dipstick tube in for the engine. Just really need intake manifold, fuel lines, wire up all of the harness, connect all those connectors, and then all the front accessories have to go back on. Once the front accessories are back on, then I'll start putting together the rest of the front end, put the radiators and everything in, converter back, or condenser back in there, all that stuff. And then once I've got all that in the battery, then I'll at least be able to start it without a front end on it. But it's come along pretty nice. There's actually, when I look at it, there's not really a whole lot left to do. It's just a lot of hooking stuff up, all the easy stuff. But man, that thing was, that engine transmission was sitting in my garage like a few days ago. Whew. All right, I'll get back to work. Oh, now I get it. Now I get it. They have to snap on there so they don't move. I haven't filmed much exhaust stuff because I don't want to remember any of it. I feel bad for guys that work on exhaust out here in the Midwest. Like, it sucks. It's like everywhere you turn there's a problem. There's a stuck bolt, a rusted something, clearance is too tight, can't get stuff in. It's pain. Alright, so we got our deck 6, which this is Valvoline Max Life multi-vehicle, but I actually made a delivery to Valvoline, and the guy said that the Valvoline Max Life is deck 6. It meets all of the specs of deck 6, and it says it on the back too. But the transmission should be completely dry right now, so I'm gonna add a whole gallon, which should fill the pan. I can't start it yet because I don't have the transmission cooler hooked up. But I'm going to fill it now just so that in case I forget, at least there's 4 quarts in it. This doesn't smell as bad as Dex 3. Oh. This one's got a shut off so you can measure, but I'm not going to measure. Because I know I'm going to put at least a gallon in there. Drink up, old girl. You're gonna get a lot of these. Almost 3 gallons, I think, is how much it takes. It's insane. at 40 bucks a gallon. And it's not just pouring out the bottom, so that's a good sign. Alright, so transmission fluid, 4 quarts going in. Now I got 6 quarts. A good old, what is this, 5W30 gonna go in there. That looks delicious. If I was a car, I'd drink that. So I ordered me a transmission cooler because I don't want the thing running through the radiator, because there have been horror stories. This is a Chinese aluminum radiator. There have been horror stories even with stock radiators of coolant mixing with transmission fluid because of a crack inside the internal heat exchanger, and then if it sends transmission fluid in through the coolant into the engine, and it sends coolant in with the transmission fluid through the transmission, it will ruin the transmission that I just had rebuilt, and it'll ruin the engine. So I don't want to take that chance. So I ordered an external cooler for the transmission. The transmission fluid that goes in this 4060 is Dex 6. It calls for Dexron 6. That fluid stays stable, doesn't lose its lubricity properties until like -40 degrees. It never gets that cold out here. And the colder you can keep the fluid in your transmission, the better. So I ordered a transmission cooler. But I think they may have made a mistake and sent me a Honda radiator instead. Because this thing is freaking massive. This thing's huge. Look at it in front of the condenser on the car. Look at this absolute monster of a transmission cooler. Like, it's insane. It's like having a whole nother radiator on the car. But it's going to be a good thing because I want to keep that fluid as cool as possible to make the transmission last as long as possible. On top of that, I should be able to tow much better with that thing on the front. I am in the home stretch. We have the transmission's radiator is hooked up now. I've got the radiator back in the fan shroud, the fan shroud and the fan are both on. Nothing's hitting, which is good. This just needs to go on here. I get to take care of that. And all it needs is just to be able to start it. All it needs is coolant, intake, and a battery. And I should be able to fire it up. Oh man. So everything is back together. I've got the battery in. I have all of everything hooked up. I've even got coolant in the reservoir, coolant in the radiator. There's a gallon of transmission fluid in it, and there's 6 quarts of oil. So I've got everything hooked back up right now. The air filter was actually pretty bad. I'm gonna replace that soon. Before I actually start it, I'm gonna key it on and just check for fuel leaks, because that is something I'm worried about. That's weird. Oh my gosh, it's got power. I don't see any fuel there. I'm gonna crank it a few times without starting it, just to get the oil pressure up. Alright, so I've pulled the ignition relay, the ignition fuse, and the, what's that other fuse? The ignition and injection control fuses. So we should have no injection, nothing. Okay. No real crazy crunchy noises, no grindy, horrible, terrible noises, so I'm happy about that. Okay. I'm trying to think. I'm freaking scared. I put so much work into this thing. Like, I'm terrified right now that it's just gonna... Okay, I'm gonna take a deep breath, and I'm gonna go inside and have some coffee and think about how I'm gonna do this and make sure I've checked all my boxes. My scan tool does not, there's nothing that reads oil pressure in this car. I don't have an oil pressure gauge. Like, how do I not have an oil pressure gauge on the dash? Like, that's insanity. But got the ignition all hooked back up and we're ready to start it for the first time. I don't see any leaks underneath, so here we go. Freaking scared. Alright, here we go. Oh, Father God, please let this thing start and run fine. Oh! Oh! running. Oh my gosh. Oh! Wow! Yeah! Yeah! Oh yeah! Oh, it's running, dude! Oh, it's running! Woo! Oh, dang, son! Oh man, it smells good! Oh, it's running, dude! Oh! Yes! Yes! Oh my gosh! Oh, listen to it chopping! Listen to it chopping, baby! It ain't leaking a drop! It ain't leaking a drop! Oh my gosh, I've never been so excited about something in my life. Oh man! Alright, I think we're good. We'll check it out. We better shut it off. Listen to it chopping. Killer. Oh! Oh man. Oh! Oh, I'm getting chills. Oh. Okay, full disclosure, in my excitement, I forgot that the transmission only has a gallon of fluid in it. So I gotta put some more of it in there. Burned or anything like that. I checked the dipstick. Obviously there's nothing on there anymore, but we'll get it running and we'll start pouring transmission fluid in. It's gotta take more than, oh, transmission fluid smells so disgusting. So, and then also, I can't tell if there's any fluid flowing through the cooler either, but we're just gonna start adding because it's only got a gallon, so it needs another gallon or so, I think. More than that even. From dry, it needs 11.8 quarts. So we're gonna be doing essentially 3 gallons, which would be 4, 8, 12. So I think it's 11.8 quarts from completely dry. So I'm gonna dump this entire thing in here and then start it again, let it run for a minute, and the whole system should be full enough. Then I'll start letting things sort of warm up, and I'll pour the last gallon in. I think it was 11.8. I might be wrong. Might be wrong about that. Oh, I forgot to take the drive shaft and put it back in. It leaked transmission fluid absolutely everywhere. But hey, guess who's not perfect? This guy right here. It's been up on these jack stands for months. It's finally time to come down. Alright, I'm going to back it up a little bit just to make it easier to get to that last bolt on the front drive shaft. Hopefully it goes into reverse and backs itself up. Okay, it goes into reverse. That's the first time this thing has moved in months. This is where the thing was sitting. It was leaking a bunch of stuff everywhere. I spilled a lot while I was working on it. Oh man, this portion of my driveway has not been empty in so long. It's like, to see just this spot with the car moved out of it is weird because it's been here for so long. I can't believe it runs. Okay, so I'm gonna have to finish filling the transmission with fluid because I don't know how many quarts I lost. So I probably, that looked like about 1.5 quarts to me, so I might have to use the rest of what I've got. Luckily, miraculously, I happen to have like 2 or 3 more quarts in there from when the transmission went out on it. I put a couple quarts in it to try and fix it, but didn't end up doing it. But I still have some left over from that, maybe a couple quarts. So looks like I spilled a couple quarts and I have a couple quarts to put in. So I'm happy about that. So I'll get this thing filled up. This is not really level ground. I might turn it so it's more level. Hood shut and latched. I don't think I need anything to drive it right now, so I'm gonna go take it for a spin. You gotta give it a little throttle to get it started. Oh man, I can tell it's gonna sound so good. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna have to keep it running, I'm pretty sure. It's rolling. Please shift into second. Oh yes. Okay. Oh man. It's up to temp and everything. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've driven this thing. Oh man. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. all that work and it's finally come to a head. I'm so freaking stoked on this thing. Oh my goodness, it runs so good. I used where this little tab goes as a mounting point for the transmission cooler. So since the slot that goes into is being used for something more important, that means we don't need this. And there she is, all back together. Oh, even got the little vanity piece on top there. Man, oh, feels good to have that done. The shocks for the hood failed while they were off, so I've got the bespoke broom handle. Oh man, so it runs, and that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.